Hello, and welcome to another Bitcoin update video. Currently, Bitcoin is still consolidating on the daily time frame between two lines acting as support and resistance. There's not much change on the daily chart, but on the smaller time frames, things are looking good. Bitcoin has followed the microstructure we discussed in previous videos over the last few days quite nicely. Support levels have held well, which we'll talk about in a minute. First, for anyone new to the channel, the idea is that we might already be in the fifth wave. We're targeting somewhere between 85 to 90K, though it could extend further. In this bull run, we should ideally move above 100K. In the short term, it's a bit unclear if we're still in the fourth wave, but current movements suggest we may have bottomed. I'm working under the assumption that we've bottomed in the fourth wave, as long as micro support levels hold, which they have over the last few days. However, I don't particularly like the structure to the upside, so we are not out of the woods yet. The idea is that this is developing as a five-wave pattern to the upside. If it stretches out as indicated, it should take us to at least 76K. If it goes further to 85-90K, this could be all of wave 5 of 3. If it ends around 76K, I'll likely consider this only wave 1 of 5, with a subsequent wave 2, then waves 3, 4, and 5, potentially taking us to 100K. Now, let's move to the shorter time frame. Before we do that, a quick reminder to follow us on Twitter for additional content and Bitcoin updates. We've launched a new feature where you can request specific cryptocurrencies for us to cover. Based on these requests, we'll send out a poll on Twitter and create a specific video on Saturday based on your requests. Make sure to follow only the correct account to avoid scammers or impersonators. Looking at the shorter time frame, you can see the microstructure and the wave count in yellow that I'm following. This suggests we could have already bottomed in wave 4. I've labeled it as an alternative scenario, but the focus is on higher prices as long as support levels hold. The main support area has been stable for a few months and hasn't been broken, keeping the overall bullish perspective valid. To summarize, while the short-term movements are promising, it's essential to monitor the support levels closely. Any significant breach could invalidate the current wave count and require a reassessment. For now, the focus remains on the potential for higher prices as long as support holds. For more frequent updates, follow our Twitter account where we post regular Bitcoin analyses and community-driven content. Be cautious of impersonators and ensure you follow the official account. Participate in our polls and let us know which cryptocurrencies you want us to cover in future videos. This helps us provide content that is most relevant and valuable to you. So far, everything has come together nicely. I shared with you this 1-2 setup, and it developed into the third wave, the fourth wave pullback, and the fifth wave, all of which have occurred as expected. We've also seen the pullback we were waiting for. Currently, this pullback takes a clearer three-wave move. If it continues to rally from here, it might just be an extension of the A wave, as highlighted in orange. However, I'll remove that from the chart for now because I'm working on the assumption that, on the micro level, it topped in this yellow A wave, and the yellow B wave is now unfolding. If there's a break above the intraday high at 7,620, I'll have to change my opinion. I've also added standard resistance levels, which are typical for a B wave. These are between 69,830 and 70,280. However, B waves sometimes like to overshoot, so these levels are just a guide. Hopefully that makes sense. If you like the update on Bitcoin, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. If you really enjoy the content, check out the channel membership. Also, make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye. Hello, and welcome to another update video about Dogecoin. Doge is still moving within this ascending price channel that started forming after the low on May 13th, when the price bottomed around 13.5 cents. Currently, I'm tracking the idea that a fourth wave bottomed on May 1st. Prior to that, we had a third wave top on March 5th, followed by an A wave down, an overshooting B wave, which is not uncommon after a three-wave move in an A wave, and then the C wave down, forming an ending diagonal. Regarding the overshooting B waves, theoretically, they shouldn't exceed the 1.38 retracement of the A wave, and that didn't happen here, so everything is in line. The wave 4 can be interpreted as complete, and the fifth wave to the upside might be unfolding now. This fifth wave would also follow an ABC structure: A wave up, B wave pullback, and C wave up. The reason for this is that the entire move up is an ending diagonal, which requires the fifth wave to be an ABC structure. The third wave was also an ABC, making the chart quite complex. Therefore, we need to approach it with caution and monitor it closely for potential breaks. If we're tracking this correctly, the ideal target for the C wave is at 18.3 cents. Thank you for watching this update. If you found it helpful, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. For more content, consider checking out the channel membership and follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional updates. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye. Hello, and welcome to another update video about Dogecoin. Doge is still moving within this ascending price channel that started forming after the low on May 13th, when the price bottomed around 13.5 cents. Currently, I'm tracking the idea that a fourth wave bottomed on May 1st. Prior to that, we had a third wave top on March 5th, followed by an A wave down, an overshooting B wave, which is not uncommon after a three-wave move in an A wave, and then the C wave down, forming an ending diagonal. Regarding the target for the C wave, I should clarify that the ideal C wave target is actually around 20 cents. This is because typically, the length of the A wave equals the length of the C wave, which would take us to 20 cents. However, the internal structure currently points towards 18.3 cents as the first target. While 18.3 cents would be the initial ideal target, the C wave could extend to 20 cents or higher. Therefore, it would be ideal if we reach 18.3 to 20 cents in wave C of 5 of C of A. This idea of one more high will need to be revised if there is a break below the red line on the chart, which serves as the invalidation point for this microstructure. The reason is that wave 4 was already quite deep, reaching and briefly breaking below the 61.8% Fibonacci level. In a diagonal, this is acceptable, so there was no invalidation at that point. However, there shouldn't be a low below that level in this wave count. A break below this level would suggest something more bearish, likely testing the lower main support region. For now, I allow for further upside, though I don't have more detailed micro counting to offer. I'm looking for one more high, and if there's any break below today's low or Monday's low, it would mean that the B wave might still be unfolding and the C wave hasn't started yet. The red line remains the key invalidation point. Once this fifth wave of wave C of A is complete, we should see a B wave pullback. I can provide a target for that once we have topped in wave A. It's reasonable to assume this B wave pullback might test around 14 cents, followed by a C wave rally that should take us towards 27 to 28 cents. Looking at the long-term chart for Dogecoin, after the larger degree fourth wave low in June 2022, the structure suggests that wave 5 should ideally send us to $1 or higher. Although the microstructure to take us there isn't very clear yet, I'm tracking the microstructure until it breaks. We have a wave 1 with 3 waves to the upside stopping in November 2022 around 16 cents, followed by a wave 2 pullback. I'm tracking the third wave as an ABC, with the C wave being an ending diagonal. This could result in one more high, completing a larger third wave, followed by a fourth and a fifth wave, with the larger third wave potentially taking us to 27 to 28 cents. That concludes my update on Doge. If you found it helpful, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. If you really enjoy the content, consider checking out the channel membership and follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional updates. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.